Good evening. Thank you for joining us and tuning in to our 11th episode of Method in Madness. This is a series of webinars which we organize at Joy of Drama. And every week, in fact, weekend, we try and bring educators, teachers, parents, and people from the field of child health and development to enlighten us with various facets and elements that we usually don't pay too much of attention while bringing up our children. Today is a very, very important topic that we have to discuss. And with us, we have Sowmya Ram. Today's topic is problem solving through drama. As you know, drama is a very powerful tool to instill life skills in oneself and others. And Sowmya is somebody who has been using drama and theater as a tool for many years now. She's an actor and she's also a therapist, and theater is what she uses as her therapy. Welcome, Sowmya. A little bit about Sowmya. Sowmya is an actor, director, writer, teacher, and a therapist. She has acted in nearly 45 plays with Nishumbita Ballet and Theatre Group. As a director, she brought plays like Jungle Book, Sound of Music, Haroun and the Sea of Stories, etc. She is currently the academic consultant with Trinity College London, India. And she is also associated with Velvi for Arts as a therapist. She is an actor-director with Nishumbita Ballet and Theatre Group as since many years. Welcome, Sowmya. Hi.
Thank you, Vaishali.
Good evening.
Very good evening to you and to everyone who's present here, parents, educators, every one of them.
Yes. So Sowmya and I are going to speak for an hour or so, and then we are going to open the discussion to all our viewers. We will be taking up questions that you post at the comment section just below the screen. And once you do that, we are going to pick up a few, maybe all, if time permits, but we are going to look at your questions and your comments after, say, 8 in the evening today. So Sowmya, let's begin our webinar. Problem solving, big skill, and I think one of the most valuable skills which we have always needed as a race, as human beings, as the species, because we've developed through problem solving. So Sowmya, how do you see problem solving in today's times, especially in regard to children and their growing up?
Well, the phrase today's time itself explains everything, because the world situation that we are in, absolutely, the phrase new normal, it takes all your understanding, patience, and all your cognition, terms that you use to adapt to this present situation and have faith in life and move forward. So problem solving is the key word.
Yes, there is a little lag, but technical glitches can't do much. It's okay. Please continue, Sowmya.
Yeah, so I was saying that today's world situation, which brings us back to this phrase called new normal. This is what is the new normal. I mean, you have to adapt with everything. You have to adapt being at home. You have to adapt doing every activity that you used to do, going out of your home. You have to manage and adapt it to your own house. So live example is this webinar that we are doing. Otherwise, we would be in a seminar hall. So yes, problem solving in today's situation would be the lifesaver. And we all need to have this skill, which is probably embracing life to its fullest.
Yes, yes. So when we say problem solving, there's another term which is creative problem solving. So my question is to you, Sowmya. We solve problem, but how? What is creatively solving a problem? Because that is something that I think makes you who you are. How creatively, how differently you solve a problem uh, in today's times. We are going to talk a little bit about general problem solving, then probably move into the realm of child and how a child can use the skill and develop it.
Absolutely. The word creative makes the phrase problem solving a little more complicated in your minds, but it is not. So to start with, I would like to kind of elaborate the process of problem solving, which if you kind of segregate and divide, it would turn into 7 steps. Because we understand it better, we can imagine it better if we look at it as steps. So these steps, while I'm talking, might sound like a big process, but trust me, it happens in split seconds in your brain. Boom, like all of you would have crossed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in split seconds. And also, the capacity to solve a problem can be enhanced with practice and exposure. So you can, in a nutshell, call it adapting to life, in its full potential. All right. Mm-hmm. And in this context, I would also like to bring in drama. So what we usually do in a normal drama class is we start with our warm-up activities, and then we go straight into theater games. And 1/4 of the class is spent in theater games, totally. So I would like to share that, while we are playing theater games with kids, we realize that we are equipping them with a tool which will help them solve their own problems in future or at any point, at any given point in time. All right. So this is like a treasure chest where one after the other, all the tools come out, and all of it comes out in your own head. It does not come with the help of a material or a physical tool which is around you or you can buy. So this is where you find your treasure chest. Now, coming back to problem solving and the word creativity. So I think I would like all of you to imagine a root puzzle. We have all done a root puzzle in,
like a maze
yes,
puzzle?
Yes, yes. Remember those tinkle pages where you can actually draw the root puzzle and reach the home or, the treasure chest, that one. So I still do it. Okay. So I want all of you to imagine a root puzzle in your mind right now. Okay. So the first step would be to understand the puzzle, isn't it? So you understand, you have a look at the puzzle and you understand, okay, it's going to have multiple roots and only one of them is going to be right. So what are you doing? While you're looking at the picture, you're observing, all right? You are looking at the puzzle. The second one would be researching the problem. So with a quick glance, you've observed that a few roads don't reach the destination and there's only one which reach, okay? Dimensions of the problem. Now, I have taken a very simple example right now. So you might need to really look into the details. So if I take up a game like chess, then I would be able to explain more, but I would like to come down to the basics and therefore the puzzle, the root puzzle. So when you are researching the problem in this particular example, you will see that, okay, 4 roads, 3 of them don't go anywhere and only one goes to the destination. That again is going to be observation for you. All right. And now we come to formulating challenges. What will stop me? Okay, at one point there is a cat in the on the road, or there is a brick wall on the road, and this one doesn't
possible challenges.
Yes, possible challenges, which you can see. All this happens in a glance. Like you don't have time to think. You have to be very, very quick. Fourth step would be generating ideas. That is where you make your strategy. All right. So your strategy, your aim is to win. You have to get to the destination. Your strategy is to get over there without making a mistake. So it's not like, okay, I'm going to start drawing and then probably, oh no, it doesn't go. Let me go another way. It's not going to. I mean, our strategy is to get it right the first time, isn't it? So that is where you create your strategy. And in this case, you would be tracing the roads with your eye. All right. So you will be going like, okay, no, this doesn't go. No, it doesn't go. Okay, yeah, this sounds good. And half the time, you don't even have to trace the road to its destination to know that, okay, this is the one probably which will work. It will surely, I mean, you will get that gut feeling immediately. All right. That, okay, this is the one that I'm doing. So that step is also covered very quickly. Coming to the fifth step, it would be combining and evaluating ideas. Now, you are analyzing. How do I get this done? I have to finally trace the action. So obviously, I've traced it with my eye, but that's not seen on the paper. So I have to substitute my eye, tracking with something else. What is the best? Your pencil or your pen, isn't it? So that happens again. So that again is part of observation. But coming to that, the fourth and the fifth point are very much related to the words observation, imitation, and imagination. Now, let me try to break it down for you. So, I'm someone who has seen the puzzle for the first time. So I observe, I have an idea. Okay, fine. This is how I need to go about it. But I have not ever done it. So obviously, I will probably try to imagine and try to think: have I seen anyone do it? If I have seen, then I would imitate. Like if I've seen my father, or my mother, or my sister doing it, I would quickly run for a pencil and do it, isn't it? So you're imitating at that time. If I haven't seen anyone, if we are not at all a family who plays games, whatever, so I don't know how to do it. So in that particular case, I'll imagine what is the logical thing to do. Okay, I have to take a pencil, track the road which leads. Okay, now very very few times at a very young stage in your life, if you're really little, at that time you will go on tracing every road with your pencil. But
yes.
as you progress with age, you would do it with your eye. Okay, and then you will, I'm very sure, with your eye you'll trace the right route, and then all you need to do is trace it with your pencil, isn't it? So that is where strategy is covered, and combining and evaluating ideas. Both these points are covered. Now comes the main part of it, which is draw up the action plan. Now it seems very difficult to imagine an action plan to just solve a root puzzle, but that is part of the structure. So here in this case, it's going to be quickly substituting the eye tracking with the pencil tracking. Okay, so that is where you are creating the plan. You are creating the plan, and then all that remains is to just do it. That is your seventh step, the action. All right, so 7 steps. The first one would be understanding. Second would be research of the problem. Third would be formulating challenges, looking what will stop you. After that would be generating ideas, the strategy basically. And then you decide to combine and evaluate ideas, the tol mol ke bol. Which one will work for you, and then comes creation of the action. And finally, you just go ahead and do it. All right. So when you are creating, you also filter out a lot of don'ts. No, not this route, not this route. You have to go with this one. So you are doing all of this in split seconds. Okay. So this is problem solving. This is a detailed procedure, because these days we would want to dissect everything. So the 7 step.
But but Sowmya, in a maze, there is only one route which is correct, right?
Yeah.
But in theater and in life generally, there are various routes. that lead to probably the same goal or a better goal, or you reach the home, you reach maybe your home or somebody else's home, but you reach home. So so how do you look at that as a concept of having multiple solutions to one problem, and how does theater there come handy, and how can a parent sitting at home involve the child in drama activities which can help the child get to various solutions than one set solution which you reach actually at the end of it. You could take various routes and reach various solutions at the same time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. And
Right.
also yeah, and also if you see, parents usually find that out for the child.
Yes,
The
we do.
child really does not have to really rack his brains too much. If the child is racking too much of brain, he's wasting a lot of time. So it's better I give you the solution as a parent or a teacher, before the child comes up with a solution. And that I have seen kind of makes the child believe ki, Acha, if I just take 5 more minutes, my mother is going to solve it for me. So these children start using this as a strategy, which parents fail to understand. And I think I've seen that. I've seen some of my children, students, they wait, and they will not give me the answer, and I just wait. So they have to ultimately do that. How do you tackle
Absolutely.
that? How do you do that?
Well, first of all, I would like to request, being a parent myself, you always get this from your children. Okay, how do I do it? And I'm getting bored. What do I do? I mean, so just get bored and just keep waiting. Waiting is the most challenging aspect in anything that we do. So, waiting is always considered to be a waste of time. But to be very truthful, that is the most productive time that we can spend with our own thoughts and our own belief. You might not do anything for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but you will end up doing something towards the end of that half an hour, whatever is given. So I would request the parents to do not give tailor-made solutions to your children. They are highly capable of coming up with their own solutions. All right. So do give that space. All you can do is give them that space, that there is no hurry to come up with a solution right now. Think about it, and let us talk about it later. All right. So that is the room, the space that you can give them. That will be the greatest gift that you can give your children. Trust me. So because they're impatient, there's too much energy, there is absolutely so much energy. Look, I just want to do it right now. So that is where we have to be elders, and that is where, though we are impatient, trust me, most of the time we are impatient as parents and teachers. However, just breathe in and don't let it get onto you. So act like the elder, the parent that you are. All right. So that is to answer the second part of it. Now, coming back to why theater games? Why theater games? Why am I stressing on theater games? Because I already gave you an example about the maze. The best example, or the most impressive one, would be chess. And the more you practice, the more you'll get better at it. So why theater games? That is where, and what makes us different? You said you have so many ways of solving a problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's just not based on one set rules of a game. In life, it is not like that. So that is where the word creativity comes in.
I think, Sowmya, we have to stop because I think we have just gone offline.
Okay.
Shashwat has just messaged. Yeah. Now I can see. Shashwat, can you put us back in?
Is that a Wi-Fi problem?
Okay, we are live again. All right. Yes, Soumya. So we were talking about theater games and why theater games.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just to rewind a little because of technical glitches, this is where I would take the word creativity. Okay. So like you mentioned, there are more than one solutions to a problem in actual real life. It is not a game-based, rule-based, one way or the other. If you are not, going right with three ways, the fourth one is going to be bang on. It's not like that in real life. So that is where creativity comes to your rescue. Okay. And what is creativity? All right. So Vaishali, what is creativity according to you?
Creativity is you have different thoughts, and then there are combinations of different thoughts that happen randomly and formulate an idea. And every time new thoughts, join in different permutation combinations, new ideas are formed, and that's how you create an idea with all that you consume, all I mean, across your life. Every day, every moment of your life that you see, you consume that, and it forms a thought, and then thoughts come and become ideas. So yeah, I think creativity is an inherent quality in anybody, in any human being, because it's
So,
not something that we don't have, or we are not born with. We are born with creativity. I believe
would
so.
it be absolutely? You're very much right. So, would it be right if I say that creativity is finding yourself in what you do?
Yeah,
Does that
in
make
many
sense?
different ways.
Yes.
Yes.
So whatever you do, okay, I am doing a webinar plus myself. That is my, giving my personal touch to the webinar, the work, or whichever thing that I'm doing. So adding your own self is creativity. Doing a task according to how you would do it is creativity. So what makes you different? What your experiences make you different? And how do you do it? How do you get your experiences? It's not necessary that you always have to go through certain things to know what is an outcome. You
Yeah.
observe. You've observed people. Okay, you have imitated someone in doing something. All right. Or if you have nothing, then you are reaching out to your imagination and grabbing all kinds of, you are grabbing from your art class or your dance class, your drama class, your own experiences, your dreams. You're grabbing things from those, imaginative aspects, and you're putting them all together to make your own self. All right. So people always say that someone's more creative but not imaginative. They are imaginative but not very much creative. So they are thin lines. So creativity is something you can access. It's like you can access creativity if you have this reservoir in your head. The reservoir consists of everything that you have observed,
Or
imitated,
imagine.
or imagined. Absolutely. What is not there can always be imagined. Okay. We believe in so many things that we don't see, right? That is part of your imagination. So this is where the theater game, the phrase theater game comes in. Now I want to tell all of you, I want you all to know that it does not need an expertise in dramatics to do theater games. This
Yes.
phrase does
Thank you.
not mean, yeah, it does not. It is something which when we kind of play more games, yes, we are going to play a lot of games. So when we play, you will realize this is something that you are reaching out within yourself. It is completely in your capacity to play theater games. Okay, let's just play a game. All right, I think we can do that. So, one more example of creative gameplay would be I am going to add chess to the movie Jumanji or Harry Potter, and what do I get? I get a moving chessboard which decides my destiny, isn't it? Vaishali, am I there?
Okay. There was a little lag again.
I thought so. I thought
Yes.
so.
Can you just come back with that? Yeah. So
All
you
right.
can just come with.
Okay. So
You said something Jumanji and chessboard. Yeah.
Yes. I was trying to connect theater games to the normal game. All right. So I'm going to add chess to Jumanji or Harry Potter. What do you get?
Okay.
You get a moving chessboard which decides your destiny, isn't it? Oh my God. And then you give all the credit to the directors or the writers who've written it, isn't it? And so I remember when we were discussing this, Vishali, you mentioned a very, very wonderful thing. You mentioned that, all the parents and teachers or educators who are with us, they should probably,
all of us are here.
yeah, all of you try to add a game, a board game, any board game, add it with a famous book or a movie, and add a life skill to it. In our case, let's add any problem to it. Okay, so I remember Vaishali telling me, all right, let's try to add snakes and ladders to Lion King, and the problem would be the lion cub needs to reach the house without
den.
being bitten up,
Yeah.
bitten up by the hyenas, isn't it? So I want audience to all of us who are here to type out combinations that come to your minds. Just throw the ideas. All right. So
Yeah. Maybe if you can just all of us, all of you who are watching us right now, if you can just type in combinations, and let's see after our conversation gets over, we'll pick some of those combinations and try and create games for you. So I think that is a great, excellent formula actually, Sowmya, because I feel if life can be taught in a way of a game, it will be learnt better. And I think when you do drama, you do theater. In Hindi, they say नाटक खेलते हैं. So खेल कब हो रहा है? So why don't they say कि नाटक करते हैं? We always say that let's play, and why do we call it a play at the end of the day? So I think, and I have seen dramatic changes in children when they solve big problems like that what they face at school. Bullying being one, then not being able to participate or talk in a particular peer group conversation is another. Then not willing to participate in sports activities is a third. And I think we, through drama in theater classes and drama classes that all of us have done, all drama teachers, there are many drama teachers who are watching us today. Everybody can vouch for this fact that they have seen children transforming. What does theater do? How does it help transform? I mean, I know it, but I want to hear it from you, Sowmya. You have been working with children for such a long time, not just in school, but also, as a private teacher. So
Absolutely.
What do you see? How do you see that happen?
It is in its own name, the play. So you do it. All right. Theater is something you do. Now, you are not sitting with books, pens. You are not doing that. You are actually getting out there and doing it, whether it be just making a story or playing a game which has a little more imagination in it. Whatever you're doing, you are doing it. You are not sitting and analyzing. You're practically doing it. Now, doing brings you, and it has to be done. Say, if it's a classroom, it has to be done in a set time. You have got a 40-minute period in which you've been given tasks and you have to do. And do you have a choice in doing it? No. But is it fun? It is, because it is. It's so different from what you do. You don't have to write anything. You don't have to study anything. All you have to do is you have to reach for your own self and handle. For example, if it's a 3-member group, they have to talk to each other. They have to come up with the story that they need to present. And sometimes, not sometimes, most of the time, children are like, okay, he's not listening to me, she's not listening to me. Or you have to solve all these problems. Your teacher is not going to, though you complain, your teacher is not going to be. I mean, I would just say, please go ahead and sort it out yourself. You have only 1 more minute left. So then the concentration comes back. So that is where you deal with distractions. That is where you deal with time management, communication skills, teamwork. Okay, name anything under cognition. Name anything under cognition. You also learn languages, be it any language. All right, and theater does not have a language barrier. You can use your body and communicate everything. Whether the whole process of theater, from the time that it comes out from the facilitator to the time it is practiced, and the time when at times it is presented in front of an audience, every bit of it is, learning. It is learning not just for the one who is probably conducting the theater class. It is also learning, it is not just learning for the children. It is also a learning for the teacher. And as a person who believes in theater and who follows the way theater is dealt with in real life also, it's a continuous learning process. There is absolutely, I have to adapt myself every time that my son, is in a trouble. And there's no set rule, and there's no set rule for any trouble in life. Everything you have to come up with an adapted self. So what I'm saying is, as a theater teacher, most of the time my lesson plan, which has a column which says resources, will only and only be myself and my students. I do not have any other research. I reach out to their imagination and their experience through mine. That's all. So that is why theater becomes so to do. You're always doing. And most of us, till we are conditioned to sit in one place and study, we are all, in one way or the other, kinesthetic learners. We move and learn. We do a lot of activities and learn hands-on. And you have, these days, you have the term experiential learning going.
Oh, yes.
That is what we are. That is what we are. So I hope some of you have come up with the combinations of the board games and the book or movie and the problem. We would take it towards the end of the thing. Vaishali, how about playing a game?
Right now? You and I?
Yeah. All and right. Everyone.
I'm game.
All right. So I assume, because we are in a webinar, we all have a pen. All of you might have a pen. All right. So you have to imagine this property not as a pen. You must imagine this as something else and do an action. Let's begin from you, Vaishali.
So,
yeah, and I'm going. All right. So what did you do? This is a very simple activity. Now you might call it a theater game because it teaches you expressions and acting. It teaches you how to use a property.
It teaches you perspective. It gives you perspective.
That is exactly where I'm getting to. So what did you do? So I observed my pen. Then I reached out to, what else have I done? Okay, I like the microphone. I have used a microphone. I imitated holding a microphone in the same way, and then I held the pen in the same way. And then I imagined myself to be a singer and did it. So I observed, I imitated, and I imagined. And therefore, I played the game. What you do is, trust me, Vaishali, I have found it extremely surprising that when we do this activity with elders, children go bonkers. I mean, they can imagine it. It is absolutely not in your comprehension what they think. They will surprise you every second.
Yeah.
But what has surprised me is it is difficult for elders to rethink. This is a pen. How can I rethink as a spoon with which I can stir? It doesn't come for a second
or a ladle or a light post. or a light post or a torch.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Another game. I'm going to give you 3 topics, Vaishali. All right. Number 1 is summer. Number 2
Okay.
is dirty sock. And number
Okay.
3 is cats, because you love cats. Okay. So what I'm
Okay.
going to do is,
Are these three also for our audience members who are watching
yes,
us, our
please
viewers?
do play with us. Do play with us. Do play with us.
Okay.
Do that.
So
So first,
the three things are summer, dirty sock, and cats. Yes.
yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch between numbers. I'll say 1, and I'll switch to 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, or 2, 3, 1, anything. All right. The moment I switch, you have to switch what you talk. Like you have to start talking non-stop about each subject. A few
Oh,
lines about summer, a few lines about basically what you feel. Okay, I hate summer, right? That's not my favorite season, blah, 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 blah. Just keep on talking
yeah.
non-stop. You're not allowed to breathe. So
Okay.
so each topic you should have, I can give you 30 seconds time to just think, okay, cats about a blah, blah, blah. Just think.
Mhm.
Just think, all
Mm.
right? So, and when I switch the numbers, you have to switch the topics that you're talking. You switch the lines that you're talking.
Okay. I think we should just do it so that our
It's clear.
audience also they get it very
All right.
clearly. Yeah.
3,
Yeah.
3,
Oh, so I have 2 cats. One is a Persian white, and
1.
this summer I don't think it was summer at all. It
2,
was raining all the time. Yeah, my socks are really dirty because I've been wearing
1.
them last summer. Summers are mangoes, and I've been eating a lot of mangoes
3.
lately. But my cats hate mangoes, so they don't want to go, even close to mangoes.
Fabulous. Fabulous. That was bang on. Could you please analyze what you did and tell us in what way was it challenging, and in what way you enjoyed it and also learned something about yourself?
Yeah, because I was always going back to what my experience is of these three words or phrases, like dirty sock, and whatever my experience has been with them. I was kind of working around that,
Working
and
around
also
that.
I was going back to memory and coming back and joining, switching off, switching on, again going back, coming back, and switching on, switching off. So I think, yeah, there was a lot of what do you say, a lot of mental activity that happened, a lot of
A lot.
brain muscle exercise, just in what, 1 minute, not even a minute.
Less than a minute, and you did so much of multitasking. You were not just recollecting, you were saying it, you were also observing my commands, and you were listening to it, processing the whole thing. So
Yeah.
you've touched almost all points of cognition, isn't it? Didn't you?
Yes.
You comprehended, you used your language, and you were not worried. More than being worried about the way or the sentences that you're going to do, you were just thinking about, okay, I have to do it.
Matching it. Yeah, matching it. Yeah.
Matching it. So the most beautiful part is when you are playing theater game, your object is not your object is not what you're saying or doing. Like, most of the time, it's not the content. Like, many a times, it is told by very, very famous experts and practitioners. They say that we do not look at disabilities, we look at abilities. All right. And this comes true because when, suppose if I'm a child who's not very comfortable speaking in English, all right, and I'm still put into that task, and it is all about just doing it, because you're not doing in front of an audience. You just doing, having fun as a game. The pressure is not there. You don't have the pressure, and you also get the opportunity to speak. Now, when there is a inherent fear of speaking a particular language, that fear comes from pressure, that you have to be right. When you remove that pressure out of it, that you don't have to be right, then You are pouring out everything that you know. You're practicing, you're speaking, right? And at some point, you will correct yourself because you would have heard a correct sentence, you would have recognized that and imitated it in your
But
own life.
Soumya, that's fine. That's fine. As drama teachers, as drama educators, we understand that. But it becomes extremely important for a a day to day a normal household. Uh, getting things right at the right time quickly is very important. And I think parents usually get hassled, or they get I won't say panicky, because panic is a big word, but they get hassled, they get worried, concerned, because they are running against time. There's so much that the child has to do throughout the day, and the child has to do it right. So how does a parent look at, or um, relook at helping the child with inculcating this habit of problem solving? I remember you just said that it starts with identifying or
Yes.
observing, right? So when you identify a problem, okay, the immediate urge is to solve it for the parent. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, the immediate, how does a parent stop himself or herself from doing it? That's one. Will playing games, okay, like board games or theater games at home, help the parent reach to that point where he or she will stop for a moment before giving out the solution, and tell himself or herself that I will not give out the solution, let him find out? Are there games which can be played at home, which our parents can play, which could be observation exercises or this perspective building exercise that we did, which can help them help their children?
Absolutely. So, coming to the first question, yes, all of us are running. All of us are running all the time. We make our children run. Okay, they come from school. Oh, it's time for your chess class. It's time for your drama class. It's time for your art class. What are you trying to? Because you are running and you're not on. You're not in. You're not able to reach home at that time. You want the children to be occupied with something. All right. You so this is where now I am a parent myself, and I know that our children and their their friends, they go to many classes, so they come home and they say, I want to do this as well, my friend is going over there, that is there. I don't reach at the same time that my child reaches home. Okay, that is another one. And then you have this whole thing. Okay, my child is brilliant, or my child would love to do that and this and that and this. This gets too much. This does not allow you to breathe. So somewhere we need to understand that we have to create that culture. We have to create the culture or the environment in your surrounding which lets you breathe. When you're running so much, when you're showing that you don't have time, how will the child appreciate having time? Have you shown your child that you can just sit around and do nothing? How will the child know that it's fine to sit around and do nothing? When you're
It's very
doing nothing,
it's very difficult.
it's very
This is
difficult. Oh, phones. While I mean, because we stumbled upon this, I would like to add that when we're talking about games, you might also say that, okay, you have so many games that you can play on the phone or on the, on
yes.
your PSP, on your television. So whatever it is, video games. What happens is you are still given a platter in
Yeah.
which everything is constructed. So if you recollect the 7 steps in our in our initial talk, you're skipping all the 5 in the center. From 1 you directly go to the 7th one where you're doing it, and all you have to do is being as fast as you can. Yesterday you finished your task in 1 minute, today you did it in 30 seconds. So that this is what is happening. You are training your brain to skip the natural process, this natural end-to-end process, and reach its destination. So it is brilliant. It is brilliant, but it cannot be dominating if you want your child to you experience that process and equip their mind to be able to be a creative problem solver. Then they would expect, like they would be expecting ready-made result. Same thing
Yes.
when you go on giving, same thing when you go on giving solutions. So I think we learn, every parent learns with every child. Even when you are a teacher, you have to learn from every child. That is something that works for one doesn't work for the other. So all you can be is, you can be alert, and you can be self-evaluatory. You have to evaluate, what am I doing? Is it leading to is it a continuum where it's mostly about learning, or am I forcing the result? This is the basic attitude, or the culture, the environment that you can bring in. That is what I would say about the first part that you did. And coming to the second part, where you said that, what can parents play? So
Yeah. What do? If not play, then what can they do?
they can talk to start with. They can talk to start with, and it's simple. If you are a person who reads, your child will definitely come and sit next to you, and they really want that space next to you. They want the physical touch. So it can be as simple as just sitting around doing nothing. Okay. And if you have to play games, and you have to, it will be even more fabulous to be very what's it, closely involved. The touch therapy, or whatever you say, the group, it's called circle time in schools. It's called floor time, where everyone is rolling.
Any drama class. Any drama class.
Any drama
Yeah.
class, it is a touch based activity, and you can choose. You don't have to go out of your comfort zone to do that. But proximity, it teaches you distance, it teaches you proximity, safe distancing, everything without being told. So every activity, like I can name so many, and you can find so many on the net, and you can trust me, when you read them, you will know how to adapt them to your own surroundings, to your own limitations. You are online, you can do it. You are one to one, you can do it. You are the only one with your child, you can do it. So everything can be adapted, according to whichever game that you are relating to. So just to give you one more last example of how games can be played, and I want to tell you, this is something that I have 4 children in my extended family, and then we all go out in a small car, and all of us have to, like, pushing, and they're always punching, elbowing. I don't get this place. I want to sit next to the window. So this game is what I play with them, and it's our most favorite time. And we don't even care about the destination, whether we are stuck in the traffic or whatever. But my children and I and all the elders are automatically involved in it. So this game is a one-line storytelling, and the only there are 2 rules. We get to say only one line, all right? And after the first line, from the second line onwards, you have to start the line with yes, please.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to give the first line, which can be without yes, please. The first line is, okay. The river is full of fish. Your turn.
Yes. Yes. Please, can I have some fish?
Okay. I'm sorry. Yes, and.
Okay. All right. Yes. We had done this exercise last weekend when we had got our, we had an improv session with Ankur. And yes,
fabulous.
and is something. Yeah. Yes, and is yes. Something which we do, and I think it's a great exercise. Let's just start it again. Start. Okay, Sowmya, I think we have lost her. Hello. Are you there, Sowmya? Okay. So
I'm sorry. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible, but your video is frozen completely.
How about now? I think it's something.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's fine. All right. So let's go in. So let's start again. The river is full of fish.
Yes, and the fish seem very happy.
Yes, and I can also see a bigger fish trying to come towards me.
Yes, but don't worry. The smaller fishes are going to help us out.
Yes, and I hope you realize that the smaller fishes are much farther than the bigger fish which is coming.
Yes, and I will quickly take out some breadcrumbs from my satchel and put it in the river so that the smaller fish they come swimming quickly towards it.
All right. So this is a fantastic activity that you can do with your children anytime. It doesn't. You're cooking. You are reading something. You're cooking. You're doing anything. You can always engage your children with this kind of things, and it will not just be good for them in their creative storytelling practice. It will help them with language. It will help them with trying to agree and amicably disagree with the other person. So it teaches you all of this. So coming back to creativity in problem solving, this is how you make the child realize their own self-worth or their own experiences. You give value to what they go through. You give value to their experience, and assure them that they can always reach out to their own experience to solve a problem that is in front of them.
So if I could just sum up our conversation, problem solving is inherent. That's definitely there. Also, audience, those who are watching us, please drop in your questions, because we are going to take up your questions in another 2 minutes, and we'll start talking about what you have to say. Anyway, so just to sum up, it all begins with observation. And once you start observing, you identify the problem. Because I have also seen this, that, when you... Problem solving is a skill, true, but to want to solve the problem is also a skill.
Absolutely.
Because you can't solve a problem if you don't want to solve it. And I think the want comes from another skill that everybody is again born with, is empathy. We all have these skills when we come to this world, but some or the other conditioning kind of takes us away from that. And one of the biggest conditioning is quick, instant gratification, quick solutions to your problems. And that can lead to various other problems, like if the child wants something from the parent, if the parent is unable to afford or give that at that point in time, then there'll be tantrums all day long. So the patience, it affects so many other things. So I think problem solving is a skill that needs to be developed in today's times for children. And it all begins with first observing and identifying it. And then I really like this idea of imitating, because yes, we imitate, we copy and learn, and that's how we learn anything. So we copy, and copying is nice. I think copying is a good thing. But yes, don't keep copying all your life. Because if you're copying and you're involved in problem solving, the process of problem solving, you'll definitely come up with your own creative, imaginative way of solving the problem. The 7 steps, I don't remember all of them, but what really stuck to me, and it is with me right now, is definitely observation, imitation, imagination, and action. So yeah, I think these are the very, very important 4 words that I will definitely take away from this particular conversation that we have been having, Sowmya. And also that waiting, I put it in bold letters over. Waiting is the most beautiful, most productive thing that can happen in today's times. Great. Now, audience, we are going to take up your questions. Please type in your questions. I'm just going to go into the comment section. But before that, I'm going to ask you one question. And this is a question from the teacher's perspective, because you're a teacher and probably you'll be able to address this. When we teach, we have many children in the class. And as you rightly said, each child is different. Okay. And the teacher has to deal with so many different beings at the same time. How effective do you think theater is as a teaching tool in classroom? This is a teacher's question, and I'm asking on behalf of all the teachers who are watching today. Theater as a teaching tool. This is a separate topic, but I just want you to talk a little bit about it because you have done some work on that.
I'm so glad you asked that question, because this is something that, yes, I am really excited to answer this question. Now, we teachers have too much onus on us. We have to completely communicate what we plan to communicate, and we think we have to do it alone. When you are using theater as a tool, and you're trying to communicate something through theater, what you learn is you don't have to take the onus of communicating everything by yourself. Your skill lies in identifying which child in your class can help you do it. That is when you will think of forming groups, differentiated learning. You will put probably an extremely forward-thinking child with a child who needs a little more help. So you burden that child who could probably think ahead to handle the child. So you are using your brain to smartly conduct the classroom. All right, and then you don't have to do everything. You are a teacher. You facilitate. Times are gone when you teach, when you have to write on the board and do everything. Today, everything can be adapted to a very experiential or a practical learning kind of a setup. And if you do not know that, then please do a little more research. This is the time when we are at the comfort of our house, and we can utilize this time to not be productive, but to be introspective. What more do I need to do? So if you are someone who's not able to tap into that, hands-on learning kind of a thing, then please do. The internet, it is full of course, you need to filter out the bad things as well, but it is full of ideas. Utilize it and reach out. Don't feel pressured to having the onus of handling the complete class and handling the communication completely by yourself. Delegate. And children will do a fabulous job if you trust them.
Great. Thank you, Sowmya, for that answer. So we have got some combinations. Neetu has said maze with thirsty crow story. A maze with thirsty crow story. Very, very simple.
I know. I can imagine
you
it.
Answer. Yeah, Sowmya, come on. Go on.
Okay, so maze with thirsty crow story, and has she mentioned? Obviously, the crow has to. So the crow has to find the pebbles. The pebbles are not very plain and clear in front of the crow. The crow has to go searching for the pebbles. A few are under the tree. A few are, behind the bushes. So that is how I decide to do it.
Okay. Yeah, so you make a maze and then you send the crow flying. The crow can fly as well, right? Above the maze and see. So maybe we can put some rules on that the crow is so thirsty that it can't fly. So the crow is very tired and can only walk in the maze.
Drag itself.
Okay, Malini is saying Ludo plus Krish plus catching the robbers, villains, etc. Krish the movie, I think.
Yes, Krish the movie.
Superhuman movie.
The comic book has also come.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So,
yeah.
You want to give it a try? You want me to do it?
Ludo has 4 houses, and the whole point of Ludo is to get home, right? You're home, you're safe. You have won the moment you reach home. So I think it could be the character Krish, who has superhuman powers, but every time, and you could, keep Krish as your character, and the other Ludo houses, these red, blue, green, and yellow, these could be the villains, okay, because she has written catching the robbers and villains, and the villains are always after Krish. So Krish keeps moving, and Krish has to stop the villains from reaching their home.
Absolutely.
I don't know, just random. We can think about it and create a game, maybe.
Absolutely.
There are more, but I think I'll go to one question, which I keep getting this question a lot. How early can we start these games? Is there an appropriate age for the child to participate in such games? Nilanjan is asking that.
I think the answer is pretty simple. There is no age bar to any game that you play. You can start playing it from the time that you try. You babble, right, to your child. You babble, and what is peekaboo? Peekaboo.
Yeah.
The child realizes, the first game that we all play would be peekaboo with our children, wouldn't it be? I mean, as young as that, until the time you probably take your last breath, keep playing. There is no age bar. There is no age bar.
Yeah, I think the ball game, that is the very, very common theater game that we play, where we throw balls. Like we take a ball and we throw it to. So suppose the child is, say, 6 months, is able to sit probably, and maybe able to speak speak certain sounds like b, b, m, or something like that. So you can just pick a sound and send the ball with the sound, and you'll see your child copying you, because that's how they make sense of the world around them.
They imitate. They imitate everything. Yeah, that is the first step of learning.
Dr. Savita is asking how to make shy children more interactive. Okay.
Okay. So, frankly, I would not want to say that, theater or drama is going to make a shy person or an introvert, become an extrovert completely. No, that is the personality choice. But what it can do is it can make the child or the individual be very comfortable in his or her own skin. So when and wherever they do what they like to do, or probably they have a passion for, like, there are so many actors who I know are extremely shy, but when they come on stage, they are a blast. So it is, I think, extremely wrong to compare shyness to not being capable of. I don't think it is validated at all. Shyness, or if it is on the lines of not having a lot of exposure or not wanting to try, then theater will definitely open a lot of scenarios where there is a safe space. They can try how they interact with people. They can come up with a lot of situations which actually happen in the real life, and then they become so comfortable that they find their own way of interacting and managing social skills. So I wouldn't want to address shyness as as something which is bad or shouldn't be there. All we need to do is we need to make the child or an individual capable of handling every situation within their comfort levels. Did that make sense? Or
Yes, it does. In fact, I get this a lot. Oh, she's very shy. My daughter is very shy, or he is very shy. Shy is a label, and I think any kind of label, be it shy, what do you call it? Introvert,
Yes.
extrovert, all these kind of labels, it kind of defines you. And if it defines you, then a definition binds you. And I think if you give such labels to children, children start using it again as a strategy. I have seen children who have always heard their parents call them shy in front of other people. So uncle is asking, "What's your name?" and the child is not answering. Okay, and the father says, "Oh," or the mother says, "Oh, she's very shy." Now let's look at this. The uncle knows you. The uncle knows the father. The uncle probably knows your name as well. Ask intelligent questions, guys. Children are not shy. They just need intelligent conversations.
They
And
do.
I have never seen a shy child in my life. I mean, there are many children who come with the tag shy, and they play quite well along with that tag they have because they are so-called shy. But I wait for the answer. So I think the best way to bring out a shy child from shyness is stop calling the child shy. Not in front of her, not in front of anybody, not within yourself also. Because children are so receptive of energies. Even if you think that my child is probably shy, the child will know. And I've seen that. So I think the first thing is drop the label. Don't call anybody shy.
Also, if you want to rework your thinking, try to say, "Oh, my child is shy," try to make it the expression that goes along with the word communicates so much. And it's the
Yeah.
presumptions that create havoc. You presume something to be like that, and like you said, even in my own experience, I've had a lot of parents saying, "Oh, he doesn't open up with others," and in the classroom he's like a devil, like
Yeah, and then actually parents would believe that. We have to shoot videos and show, see, this is what your daughter is doing in the class.
Exactly.
I think it is a lot to do with the parent's perception of the child. And if the parent can change the perception of the child, then the child will change the perception about him or her. And being quiet is all right. And as you rightly said, most of the famous actors, stage actors that I've seen in my life are extremely shy people, like so-called shy. Quiet people, don't like to talk. They always keep quiet in their own world. They talk whenever necessary, but they always respond to intelligent questions. So try that with your children. The next time you take your child to your relative's house or your friend's place, make sure that they're asking questions which are relevant to your child, and not what is your name and what you want to become in life. Nobody knows. Yeah, nobody knows that. And even the child does not know. You feed into the child that, okay, अगर कोई ऐसे पूछे तो ये बता देना. ये भी होता है कभी-कभी. I've seen that.
All the time. And you given a set of instructions before they go somewhere. don't
you know what, Sowmya, this reminds me of a Bengali film directed by Ray. It was his last film, Agantuk, The Stranger. It's called The Stranger. I don't know if you've watched it or not. But in that, and that film actually, changed my perception of how to look at a child. I watched that film when I was a child. I was a child myself. But I remember that scene where Utpal Dutt is basically the stranger in this. And he comes, he is an old gentleman and he's the grandfather of a little boy. And he brings a little gift for the child. The child takes the gift and the parent immediately says, "Thank you, Bolo." Say thank you to grandfather. And the grandfather says that, no, his smile is more than enough. He doesn't need to say thank you. That has taught me a very, very big lesson. That actually opened my eyes, because I never said thank you to anybody. I just was so happy to take the gift and open it and see it and start playing with it, that I always forgot to say thank you. And you don't have to say thank you and sorry all the time. I think children should be let to do and speak in their own time. And calling them shy, even in amongst yourselves, the parents are sitting together, the child is not around, but still if you're discussing it, it is bound to affect. I've seen that happen. So I can tell you with my experience that this happens. There's another question which actually is looking at this. How do you solve if I'm really shy to come up in front or I have stage fear? Sowmya, stage fear? Come on.
Oh my God! So it's very it's very
I
very
have
funny.
stage fear. I'm
All
nervous
the
when I
time.
go all the time.
I had butterflies just before we started the webinar, and I probably told it to as many people as I can. That is, you just learn to deal with it, and that comes only with practice. So it never goes. You still are sweating, but you learn how to cover it up. That is exactly what happens in real life. So and it's good. It's good because it keeps you grounded. When you have the fear, or when you have that little jitter in your, that is when you make sure that everything that you do is makes sense.
Yeah, and you put in a little extra effort.
Absolutely.
So, which is important. It is important to feel a little nervous before you begin anything on stage. Okay, Punya is asking the child who speaks less and doesn't show interest to interact, how this play helps for such students. Sowmya, your video is frozen. I think we can take one more question.
Can you see me now? Is that fine?
I can see you, but your video is completely frozen. So anyway, I think we can take this answer. You can start answering. Maybe the video will come back.
Yeah.
The child who speaks less and doesn't show interest to interact. How does play help?
To begin with, of course, we dealt with whether they want to talk or not, whether they are being prompted with the kind of topics that they want to talk with, or keeping aside all of it. Suppose they have been asked the right kind of questions. They have been put in the kind of situation that they usually love.
Still, if there's
still, if there is an impediment, then it mostly has to do with trouble connecting with the situation, for which you can actually have rehearsed responses. So if there is a particular situation, for example, the child loves birthday parties, and the child is usually very happy, but the moment the child goes there, he or she finds it very difficult to interact at that particular moment. They love it, they love the cake, they love all the friends that are around, but is not able to communicate. Now this comes from probably, if you try to connect it or analyze it, it might be connected to an experience in their life, okay, and which can be only overcome by trying to make them understand that it is safe to express themselves. This safety is what theater gives. Everything that we do in theater is an imitation of real life situation, be it a script, be it a story that you have come up with. So if you can name it anything, social stories, imagination, fiction, non-fiction, whatever it is, everything is an imitation of real life. So this is where you rehearse your response. And it has worked beautifully with children with special abilities as well. When you rehearse, you feel safe. Of course, a little amount of discomfort might be there because of your experience, which can be overcome only with practice, only with exposure. If the child does like doing it but is not comfortable, the only way is to encourage the child to do it more, and try to imagine yourself in the child's situation. Give them more practice or rehearsals at home. If you take example of special needs children or special abilities, flight travel can be a challenge. So I've known parents who have literally created the atmosphere without anything, without any material or anything. They have literally created an atmosphere where they have to sit for long hours without moving, without much space to move. Practice it over and over again and be successful. When this scenario is applied to any child which has got discomfort, I'm very sure they will find it safe to express themselves.
But do you think if such a case arises, then parents should be a little bit more concerned, maybe get a diagnosis done, take the child to a child psychologist or a counselor for counseling? Do you recommend that?
I would say that every parent would know it from their gut. Go with your gut feeling. Your feeling about your child will always be right, but be true to yourself.
Don't be in denial.
Denial is extremely common and extremely, I think it is very natural. I mean, if you're not denying, then you're doing something, there's something wrong with you. If you're not denying something, don't be harsh on yourself, but you also have to have the perspective that let's try to rule out every possibility. Let's try to rule out if anything would benefit my child by being recognized early, then do it. Though you don't connect with it, though you don't feel like my child will have it, do it. And then make sure, measure it. It's like problem solving. Measure it with all its dimensions and then take the call. But take that first step. Take that first step because it's about your child and you are in a position to take a decision about your child.
Yes. Sowmya, you worked with special needs children and you engage with them through theatre, and it acts as a therapy for them as well. Tell us a little bit about how theatre, how you look at theatre as therapy, and how actually practically theatre solves problems in the lives of special needs children. We have just 5 more minutes left. If you just make it short,
Yeah, absolutely. So Vaishali, I know that we have the term therapy for it being so that it's convenient for everyone to communicate the idea about what can be right to, so that you are not creating more problems in it. But in the case of theater, I think it is the process which is therapeutic, and it works both ways. So I personally would like to call it applying drama to a particular situation. If you remove the pressure of trying to reach a goal, you want to make the child speak something. You want to make the child come in front of 101 people. You want to put the child in a normal school atmosphere. If you take the pressure out and you look at the process of opening up the world little by little, this is what theatre does. It does not count on what you cannot do. It only counts on what you can do. That is why it becomes therapeutic. And also, if you just take out the label of disability, it is true for all of us.
Yes, absolutely. Will it? How does theatre? There's a question which I think Ms. Nair is asking. Does it also help play-based, work or theatre or drama? Does it also help hyperactive children?
It does. I think it would. If you are dealing with a hyperactive kid, and it is often observed that children get excited when they are playing games or when they are, creating. So what you need to do is you need to be a little more strategic. There are very calming games in theatre arts. Find a combination, find a graph of, an active theatre game with a calming theatre game. You give that graph and you will see the child will mold into it beautifully. So the thing would be how you strategize your activity. Which activity do you choose in your classroom or at home, whichever. So just to kind of wrap it up, I would say that theater does not require you to acquire material. All you have to do is access yourself and the person whom you want to do it with. So it not just it's very difficult to pinpoint that theater games would teach you this, because
Yeah.
you cannot you get so much more in the package. You get all kinds of things related to your cognition development and things like that. So just play or just do.
Yeah,
That's
but
what I would like.
at the heart of theater and drama and play, I think lies problem solving, because problem solving is something which is at the heart of any activity. We have to definitely always solve a problem, and the problem can come in many different shapes and sizes and ways. Thinking about this as something else is a problem. First, you have to identify it. Okay, now what, and then observe properly what the shape and the size is, and then create. I think problem solving is something which can be made an entertaining thing through theater. I feel so, because I see that in my own life. Whenever there's a problem, I never get too serious about it, and I know there are so many different solutions to it that I'll find one of them. And seriously, to tell you the truth, and all of us, all of you who are watching us right now, when the COVID thing happened, definitely there is a lot of havoc that happened across the globe, and many people went into distress. Many things happened, but in my own self, there was a problem. There was a huge problem. Everything was getting dismantled at the same time. We are drama teachers, we are actors, we work on stage, people come to watch us, we perform for them. In drama class, children come, and we have so many tactical games where we have to hold hands, have to push each other, and none of them was possible anymore. But Soumya, for not even a single moment, I felt that this was a problem that I couldn't solve. And I think that kept me mentally calmer than most of the people around me. I did not panic. I kind of kept everything in sequence, like you said. It just happened on its own. And I think I will give the entire credit of this experience that I had during the COVID, lockdown time, which is still on. I'll give the credit to theater and drama that I've been doing since my childhood. And I think, Soumya, please share your experience, when the lockdown hit you. So
I totally agree. I totally agree with you.
Examples,
Exactly, because being a teacher, I was asked to take online classes, and then oh my God, okay, you just have one window, you can't even move around. Movement is such a key thing to drama. So that is where it hit me. And like you said, theater came to my rescue, and I said, okay, how much of me is seen? I can work on the face expressions of my children. I can work on their voice. I can work on their coordination, because it's even more difficult to coordinate and think, because half the time you're asking, can you hear me? Like, can you see me? Half the time you're doing that. So how do you maintain the pace of it? That is exactly when all of it fell into place. When I let go of the part where I have to bring them onto stage, bring them physically together. When I let that go, which was only possible because I've been trained to rethink instantly because of theater. You rethink, just undo. Everything is shift, all delete, whatever.
Start again.
Yeah. So
It's
start
always
again.
a new start. Yeah.
It's so easy to start again because, oh, this is not working, start again. So that restart button came because of my background in theater. And today, I mean, it's really lovely that my children have come up with a YouTube channel which says A Pinch of Drama. And they focus, they showcase everything that they do. They just finished a series of creative storytelling where they've come up with this weird stimulus one by one, and they've created stories. And that if any of you get a chance, please follow, please do encourage them and follow them
Yeah.
at A Pinch of Drama. And their next series would be playing online games, and
Great. I mean,
boosting.
this will be a great resource for teachers as well and parents as well.
Absolutely, and they've all done it, in this limited time period from their end, and end to end, it's completely their ideas. So please do encourage with your likes, subscribes, and all of that. Do
Sure,
follow.
please do log on to YouTube and Soumya's channel, which is Pinch of Drama,
Yeah,
and please subscribe to it, because Soumya has, I know her, I worked with her before, and we are partly colleagues and partly
yeah.
friends. So, I vouch for all her games. They're wonderful. It's lovely playing them. It's lovely just watching them. So I think Pinch of Drama will definitely bring a, not just a pinch, oodles of drama in your life. And with that, we come to a conclusion that drama can be one of the best tools to initiate problem solving. So thank you everybody who joined us for this webinar today. The weather is not that good. It's raining outside. It's very windy. Same, I think, in Hyderabad. So, Soumya, how's the weather out there?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Weather is very windy and it's raining. And then there was no electricity at around 6 o'clock over here. And when I pinged Vaishali, she said, we'll do a candlelight one. So that's what, problem solving was. And I'm like, yes, I'm game for it. Keeping the jokes aside, I think, Vaishali, it has been beautiful seeing how you kind of made theater available to everyone. So thank you very much for bringing world theater, come together through Joy of Drama. And there have been so many. Please do
Thank
access.
you for being a part of this, because we are all in this together.
Absolutely.
And if we don't help each other, if we don't reach out to each other, then who will?
Also, a
So
big shout out to all the parents and
yes, yes.
educators who are here today. They all have done fabulous works. I follow. I mean, most of them we also follow their work, and they all do inspiring work. So, thank you so much for being here to share this platform with us.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us for Method in Madness. Next week, we will come up with a new topic, and very interesting topic, I must tell you. But you'll get to know it. Please go to our website, joyofdrama.com. You can feed in your details in the Get Alerts section, and you will get all the information regarding our webinars, our teacher training, parenting workshops, and most importantly, programs for children at Joy of Drama. Also, don't forget to go like and subscribe to our channel, YouTube channel, Joy of Drama on YouTube. Thank you so much, and have a very good night. Thank you. Thank you, Sowmya.
Thank you, Vaishali. Thank you, everyone.